In a big green park, where the sun shone brightly and the breeze made the leaves dance, there lived a very special squirrel named Sunny. The park was full of laughter, chirping birds, and the gentle rustle of the wind through the tall trees. It was the kind of place where every day felt like an adventure waiting to happen. Sunny was a cheerful little squirrel with a fluffy tail that looked like a soft, swirly cloud and biscuit-colored fur that glowed golden in the sunlight. He loved to scamper up tree trunks, leap from branch to branch, and explore every nook and cranny of his leafy home. Everyone in the park knew Sunny for his bright eyes and his even brighter smile. But today was no ordinary day. Today was special. As Sunny was searching for breakfast, he stumbled upon something amazing. A giant pile of perfect, shiny acorns, stacked high and glimmering in the morning light. It was the biggest pile he had ever seen, and each acorn looked more delicious than the last. Sunny couldn't believe his luck. He danced around the pile, his fluffy tail swishing with excitement, and his tiny paws tapping out a happy rhythm on the soft grass. He spun in circles, giggling with joy, feeling like he had just discovered a hidden treasure chest. "Hooray! All these acorns are for me!" he cheered, rolling one between his paws and watching it sparkle in the sunlight. He imagined all the things he could do with so many acorns, snack on them, build with them, or even share them with his friends. Each acorn seemed better than the last, smooth and shiny, and Sunny felt like the luckiest squirrel in the whole wide world. He sniffed them, tapped them, and admired how they glowed like tiny brown jewels. His heart was full of happiness and pride. He imagined building the tallest acorn tower anyone had ever seen, stacking them carefully, one on top of the other, until they reached as high as the lowest tree branches. He counted and polished every single acorn, making sure each one was just right for his collection. "All for me," Sunny sang, hopping with joy from one side of the pile to the other. He made up silly songs about acorns and did a little dance, his laughter echoing through the park. He pictured making long lines of acorns, arranging them into smiley faces, and even stuffing his cheeks until they were round and puffy. Sunny's imagination ran wild with all the fun he could have. This was going to be the best day ever, and he wanted to enjoy every single moment. With his arms wrapped around his big, beautiful pile of acorns, Sunny felt proud and happy. Yes, these were the best acorns, and he was sure he was the happiest, luckiest squirrel in the whole park, maybe even the whole world. Just as Sunny the squirrel began carefully stacking his acorns, a curious sound echoed through the sunny park. Bowing, bowing. It was a cheerful bouncy noise that made the leaves on the trees tremble, and the birds paused their songs. Sunny's little paws froze midair, and he looked around, his bushy tail twitching with surprise. Who could be making such a joyful racket on this peaceful morning? Suddenly, from behind a patch of tall, swaying grass, appeared Bella, a rabbit with the floppiest ears and the wiggliest nose Sunny had ever seen. Bella bounced into view, her soft white fur gleaming in the sunlight, and her big, bright eyes sparkling with excitement. She hopped closer, her feet making that unmistakable bowing sound with every leap. "Hello, I'm Bella," she chirped, her voice as light as a spring breeze. "What a wonderful pile of acorns you have there, Sunny. They look so shiny and round. I've never seen so many in one place before. Would you like some help building? Can I play too?" Bella bounced up and down, her ears flopping with every hop. She imagined all the fun things they could build together, maybe a tall acorn tower, or even a magical castle with secret tunnels and windows. Her heart raced with excitement at the thought of sharing a new adventure with a friend. But Sunny wasn't ready to share. He wrapped his tiny arms around his precious pile of acorns, holding them close. "No, these are my acorns," he said firmly, his voice a little shaky. "All for me. I worked so hard to gather them, and I want to keep them safe." Bella's ears drooped and her nose stopped wiggling for a moment. She looked at Sunny with hopeful eyes. "Oh, but sharing is fun," she said softly. "If we work together, we could build the biggest, most amazing acorn castle this park has ever seen. Imagine all the stories we could tell and the games we could play." Sunny shook his head, clutching his acorns even tighter. "No castles," he insisted. "Just my pile. All for me." He couldn't imagine letting anyone else touch his hard-earned treasures, not even friendly Bella. Bella let out a gentle sigh and sat down quietly on the soft grass, her floppy ears drooping sadly. She watched Sunny from a distance, her eyes full of longing. She had hoped to make a new friend and share a joyful day, but now she felt a little lonely. Sunny continued to play with his acorns, stacking them higher and higher, but he didn't look at Bella. He was so focused on his pile that he didn't notice how quiet the park had become. Even though he had all his acorns, something felt different, like a piece of the fun was missing. The park, once filled with laughter and sunshine, suddenly felt a little less bright and a little more lonely. The colors seemed to fade, and the air grew still. Sometimes, even the sunniest days can feel a bit cloudy when you don't have a friend to share them with. Sunny the squirrel was determined to keep his acorns all to himself. He sat with his arms crossed, watching Bella and the other animals from the corner of his eye. No matter how much they laughed or played nearby, he pretended not to notice. He stacked his acorns higher and higher, making sure none rolled away. But then, plink, 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 something unexpected happened. Out of the tall grass, a tiny green frog appeared, hopping closer and closer with a cheerful bounce in his step. His big eyes sparkled with excitement as he made his way over to Sunny's impressive acorn pile. "Hello there, I'm Pip," the frog said with a friendly grin. "Wow, that's an amazing acorn pile you've got. I've never seen so many in one place before." Bella hopped over too, her nose twitching with curiosity. "Would you like to play with us, Sunny?" Pip asked. "We could make a swirly acorn pattern, or maybe even build a castle. It would be so much fun if we all played together." But Sunny frowned and stamped his foot hard on the ground. "No!" he shouted, hugging his acorns tightly. "These are my acorns, all for me." Pip's smile faded, and his eyes drooped with disappointment. Bella gently patted Pip's back, trying to cheer him up. "He doesn't want to share, Pip," she whispered softly. Both friends looked at Sunny, hoping he might change his mind. Pip let out a long, sad sigh. "But playing together is the best kind of playing," he said quietly, glancing at Bella and then at the lonely squirrel. Bella's ears perked up at the idea, her eyes lighting up with a sudden spark of inspiration. She wondered if there was another way to help Sunny see how much fun sharing could be. But Sunny was too busy guarding his treasure. He circled his acorn pile, making sure no one came too close. He didn't want to risk losing even a single acorn. "No patterns, no castles, just me. All for me," Sunny declared, his voice echoing through the clearing. He hugged his acorns even tighter, determined not to let anyone else join in. But as the laughter and chatter of Bella and Pip faded away, Sunny began to notice something. Even though he had all the acorns he could ever want, he didn't feel happy anymore. His special day was starting to feel a little lonely. The acorn pile, once his greatest treasure, didn't seem quite as fun anymore. Without friends to share it with, even the biggest pile of acorns felt empty and dull. Sunny sat quietly, wondering if maybe, just maybe, playing together really was the best kind of fun. Determined to have fun alone, Sunny started building his tower. One acorn, then another, and another. The tower grew taller. "See? I'm building the best tower ever, all by myself." But as the tower grew, it wobbled and swayed. "Be careful, Sunny," called Bella. Pip added, "Maybe we could help." "I don't need help," Sunny insisted, stretching to place the last acorn. He held his breath, balancing the top piece. For a moment it stood tall. "I did it," Sunny whispered. But then the tower wobbled, swayed, and what was going to happen next? Crash! The tower tumbled down, acorns flying everywhere. One bonked Sunny on the head. Ouch! His beautiful tower was gone, replaced by a giant mess. Sunny sat down, tail drooping, feeling lonely and sad. Bella and Pip hurried over. "Are you all right, Sunny?" Bella asked. Pip nodded. "That was a big crash." Sunny sniffled. "My tower fell, and now my acorns are everywhere. It's too much to pick them up alone." Sunny realized having everything to himself hadn't made him happy. Maybe he couldn't do everything alone after all. The mess felt bigger than ever, but his friends were still there. Bella smiled. "We can help you. It'll be fun if we do it together." Pip grinned. "Ribbit, let's play the Great Acorn Hunt." Sunny wiped his tears. "A new game? With friends?" Together, they searched for acorns. Bella in the tall grass, Pip under leaves, Sunny climbing bushes. Soon, every acorn was back in a pile. But now it felt different. It was their pile. "What should we do now?" Sunny asked. "Let's build the castle," Bella cheered. "And a swirly path," Pip added. They built a sturdy acorn castle, each friend adding their own special touch. Building together was 100 times more fun than building alone. When the castle was finished, the friends admired their work. The sun made the acorn walls gleam, and the swirly path invited everyone to play. Sunny beamed. "This is amazing! Much more fun than playing alone." Bella giggled. "I told you sharing was fun." Pip puffed out his chest. "Ribbit, our castle is the best." It wasn't just an acorn castle, it was a friendship castle. They played all afternoon, laughing and pretending. The acorns weren't just for one squirrel anymore, they were for everyone. As the sun set, Sunny smiled. Sharing made this the best day ever. Because sharing doesn't just make games better, it makes everything better.